All right. Hello, and welcome to the seventh episode of Join Us at the Table. My name is Brandon,
And I'm Cara.
and today's guest is Courtney, an SCU alumna. Hello, Courtney. Welcome. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, everyone. I am Courtney. I am a double Bronco from SCU. So I actually studied public health for undergraduate, and then I got my MBA. And I currently reside in San Diego, and I worked for the Food and Agribusiness, or I guess now it's called the Food Innovation and Entrepreneurship Institute at Santa Clara for about 5 years. So, and now I own a caramel business.
Awesome. So could you tell us a little bit how you got started with Caramel Caravan is what it's called, and what was your inspiration for that?
Absolutely. So my mom and I had been making caramels for years and years and years, and everyone that we always would give them to at Christmas and holidays said that we needed to start a business. And I had just recently graduated from my MBA, and I was working for a brewery in San Jose called Gordon Beer Brewing Company, and my boss was actually one of the co-founders. So I just noticed in watching him in his day-to-day life how passionate and excited he was about his company and how much he loved his beer and his product. And I just realized I really wanted to do something like that. So I decided to take the leap and start the company and start selling caramels, see if people liked them, see if I liked it. I figured worst thing that could happen is that I would find out what I love doing in business and I could pursue that afterwards. But I just realized I really love being an entrepreneur and owning a company. So
Awesome.
Awesome. Super cool. So, do you think that any specific component of your involvement at Santa Clara or with the Center for Food Innovation and Entrepreneurship sort of inspired that push for you to get involved in the food business?
yeah, so it's actually quite funny. I was at a food innovation and entrepreneurship event, and that's how I met my last boss, Dan. I was giving a speech, and he was also giving a speech, and so that kind of led me into working for him, where then I ultimately started this career. But also, I learned a bunch of things at the Food Innovation and Entrepreneurship Institute, where I managed a study for about 5 years there on understanding how much it costs for low-income individuals to provide healthy meals for their family. So I managed we had about 50 students that came through that I was managing over the 5 years. And it kind of taught me how to manage a team, how to understand budgets, how to basically run a small business. So that was actually super duper helpful in the start of this company. And it's been super helpful.
Awesome. And so from what we've researched, it looks like Caramel Caravan emphasizes the conscious sourcing of ingredients. Could you elaborate on some of the specific ways the company is more mindful with what types of ingredients they use and what sort of impact you're having in doing so?
Yeah. So when we started the business, my business partner and I, we wanted to start off being as sustainable as we could be with ingredient sourcing. So one of the biggest things in the dairy industry, and especially the heavy cream that we use in our product, a lot of the brands have carrageenan in it, which there are studies that kind of show that it doesn't necessarily have the best health specs. So that was the first thing. We're like, okay, we want to find a dairy product that doesn't have carrageenan or any preservatives or emulsifiers. So we also wanted to source locally. So we found a Clover, which I'm sure that you guys have seen, Clover Cream. So they're just up in the Sonoma County. And then we also found a really awesome butter brand in San Francisco called Gilt Edge Butter. So we've been working with them for the past 3 years, and they've been great. Their products are great, and they make our caramel taste so much better, to be quite honest. And then also just even further than ingredients, we try to focus on sustainable packaging as well. So a lot of our packaging suppliers are actually local to us. So when I was living up in San Carlos, I could walk to our sticker and sleeve manufacturer and just pick up our packaging, which was super nice. And we paid more for it, but we just felt like it had a better impact on the environment. And also we use all of our cellophane is biodegradable. So all of the caramel wrappers that we use are all biodegradable. And then we just made the switch to our 4-piece bags are now also biodegradable. So that was kind of the last part of our packaging that wasn't either recyclable or biodegradable. So now I feel like we're trying to do a pretty good job, and just trying to be conscious of the types of materials we use and the ingredients we put into our products. So that's
Awesome.
that's
Yeah,
good.
that's so important. It's so great to hear that you're incorporating those sustainability ideas into all aspects of the business, not just locally sourcing or biodegradable packaging, but all of the above. So that's great to hear. Um, so I guess we'd be curious to hear, as a entrepreneur, just some of the successes and some of the challenges that you faced through the process of starting your own company.
So I'll start with the challenges. So specifically operating in the Bay Area has been tough as a food business because we have been competing with companies that are able to offer certain benefits to employees and larger salaries to employees. So we've had a difficulty in finding good staff that's willing to work for the amount that we're able to pay, and the hours that we're able to work. So that's been a big challenge for us. And some of these successes, I think just watching the business grow has been it seems really successful for me, even though it's quite small. Getting new accounts is always like a big success. It seems like one of our biggest accounts is Farm Girl Flowers. And we worked really, really hard to get an account with them. And it's been awesome to watch their business grow and watch our business grow with them to a certain extent. So I think those successes are big for us, and we look forward to those.
Awesome. That's so great. I love Farm Girl Flowers, by the way. They're awesome. I just ordered
Yeah,
for my sister.
yeah, they're like a great company.
Yeah, super beautiful bouquets too. So on the note of your entrepreneurial process, if you could tell your younger self one thing before, or a couple things before starting your own business, what would they be?
Do it. One, don't be scared. Just go into it. I think one of the biggest things that I took for granted when I was younger was just being naive and just like going into it blind and just being like, I'll figure it out. It doesn't matter what happens or if I fail or if, I make a fool of myself. I wish I still had some of that naivety. So that's a big thing. And then I would say, don't let people tell you that you can't do it or that it's stupid that you're doing something like this, because if you're passionate about it and you really enjoy what you're doing, like, you're going to be successful. It might take you some time, but it's going to end up working out for you. So I think that's one thing I would definitely want to tell myself is just do it. It's like a Nike commercial. Just do it.
So, Courtney, we'd like to know a little bit more about how Caramel Caravan has adapted to cope with COVID-19.
So first things first, we actually have been shifting our sales strategies to try and grow our sales online or for e-commerce versus just general brick and mortar retail shops. Also, we operate in a shared kitchen space right now, and we'd really like to get our own space. So one of the things that we have been looking into is if we can potentially take over a lease from a restaurant that currently does not have anyone in it, as COVID has made a lot of restaurants shut down. So in order for them to get some sort of revenue during this time, if we can come in and utilize their kitchen space and get a long-term lease negotiated for them. So that's been an interesting strategy that we've been looking into, and we hope will work out.
Yeah, well, I definitely wish the best for you all. And so if we wanted to get some of our hands on your delicious caramels, where would we go?
Definitely go to our website, caramelcaravan.com. We have a list of all of our retailers that are currently open on our website. So you can go there, or you can order them online.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I look forward to trying them.
So kind of wrapping up, is there any other advice maybe to your fellow alumni or current Santa Clara students that you have, either just general advice or maybe specific to the food industry?
I mean, I think I have specific advice to the food industry. It's rough. It's hard to make it work in the food industry. But again, if you're passionate enough about it and you really enjoy it, do it, because at least you're making yourself happy. You're going through it. So, and it will be successful eventually if you care enough and you love it enough. So I think that that's some advice that I would give is if you're looking to start a food business or you're looking to get into the food industry somehow, do it. Just try it out, see how it works. So
All right. Well, thank you so much, Courtney, for joining us at the table on our 7th episode. We'd like to thank you on behalf of the Center for Food Innovation and Entrepreneurship for joining us today.
thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Courtney.